In this video, we need to just finish off a few things with the floor. That's the closing panels on each side underneath here. Get those done and a few other little bits to tidy up. So getting the floor sorted out in this project was one of the big challenges that I needed to sort of get done first before we can move on and do anything else. So the closing panels on the inside, or these inside parts here, they're all sorted out now. There's a nice bend in there that follows the contour of the body, so that's done on both sides. It's just the outside section of these I need to fix up and fabricate a panel to fit in there. There's still a few spots that needs a little bit more welding on that join where the two panels meet. And of course it's not perfect, so when the body gets finished off, it's going to need some filler in there just to make that transition a bit smoother. So I'll take you in a bit closer and we'll have a look at the left side closing panel because that's a lot easier to actually see. I'll just bring you a bit closer so you can get a better view of that, and you'll sort of see the basic shape that we need to create in there. So one of the tricky things is there is a bit of contour to this panel. So first of all, that sort of shape what you are looking at here, that is the overall shape that the panel needs to be. Some of the issues that make it a little bit more complicated, I'll bring up a diagram showing what the actual replacement panel looks like. Whether or not I can fabricate it to be close to that, I'll give it a go and just see how it turns out. To purchase those panels, they're around about 60 or 70 Australian dollars. So we'll try and fabricate it, especially as a panel that isn't going to be that noticeable. One issue is that down the bottom here, this part of the floor pan is actually at an angle. So this back end of the panel obviously has to slope outwards. So in order to follow that, it has to come straight across and then out at that angle at the bottom. And then of course the top section is level here, that's a straight line, but over here it curves in. So it's going to take a bit of effort to get it right. Okay, so judging how this panel here is an image off the internet, the way that that's designed, that's sort of how it needs to go. Here's my sketch of sort of what I need to create. So that's the shape we're going to start off with. I'll just have to have a think about when we put the bends in, whether the original starting shape needs to be different based on putting the bends, because metal will stretch, not like using a piece of cardboard to do a template. So I might just go ahead and give it a go, but they're all of the measurements. So you've got a triangle here, rectangle here, a larger rectangle, but these dotted lines here are all fold lines. So that's what needs to be created. So I'll try and fabricate that panel first and get all the bends in it. Okay, so I've decided to get started on the right hand side cover closing panel. And what I've done this time, I've just built a cardboard template. And the way I did this, I've sort of done it so I can get all the folds correct. You'll notice that this sort of line up here, if you follow that line there, it sort of comes up at an angle, because the way the folds need to work in there, this point here, it needs to be about 20 mil upwards in the air. So if that sort of folds like that, it allows it will allow for it to bend. So that slopes up, that slopes down, and then this section will be level with the rest of it once it's all folded. So it works on cardboard. I just need to transfer that to a piece of sheet metal. Okay, so I've now completed making the closing panel for the right hand side. So just to get all the curves and bends correct, it just took some time to get it right, but it actually fits on nicely. It's a lot of effort to make, but the price of these panels to buy, it's about 70 Australian dollars. So we are saving money, but it does take a bit more effort. Alright, let me just show you a test fit. Alright, so I've prepared this, so I've sort of ground down that weld a bit.
wire wheeled this bit just to give it a bit of surface, because that'll need a weld down there. But it fits in reasonably okay. The only issue is like this end just there up here, but I might be able to sort of just adjust it a little bit more, but that's sort of how it's going to fit. And then of course that once that gets bent up, that'll fill up that space there, so that bit's not an issue. And then we'll sort out the rest of it afterwards. So what I need to do now is just put some weld through primer just on all of that, and then the back of that piece.
Alright, progress update. So for the left hand side closing panel, this one I've decided not to go with that. I'm actually going to recreate it again, and what I've done, I've cut that section out which was remaining on the cast steel, and then that way the whole replacement panel is just one piece. It'll be a lot neater that way. So this little piece here, I've cut that, and I'll just need to remove that. There's a spot weld there somewhere. And the other side, that's complete. I'll just take it to the other side. Okay, so this is the right hand side, so it is a bit messy, does need to be cleaned up a bit. I need to fill this gap here, and also over here, and then grind that, make everything look nice and neat. But having it as the one complete piece does make it look a lot better, but there's still a few things that need to be fixed on there. I've got one weld underneath here for the floor, and then I just need to finish off those ones. Okay, so I've got this closing panel, that's all sorted out now. It's taken a lot of effort to get it to exactly fit how I want it to go. So that will sort of like fit in there like that. Just needs a little bit more adjustment on there, but it'll fit in like that. Now, what I need to do now is put some weld through primer just over on those bits which I've ground down, and then of course drill some holes in here so that can be plug welded, and then drill some holes in that bottom piece too, and then put weld through primer on the back of that. Okay, so this side is been all welded up now, and the toe board folds have been put in there and everything's welded up. So I'm going to finish up here on this one. I just needs to be ground over a bit because some of those welds are a bit high, but as long as it holds, that'll be fine. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching my videos.